So Jalen Royals have been phenomenal in training camp. I'm hearing that he's actually looking pretty unguardable. And I know a lot of y'all probably like, yo, y'all hyping the boy up, man. He's not unguardable. But listen, man, he's been locked in. He's been looking very, very good throughout this camp. And he's been making some very strong plays that has a lot of people turning their heads. And it's like, wow, this is a fourth round rookie we're talking about. I know it's just training camp. You're not supposed to really get too hype off a training camp. You gotta remember, he's a rookie. This is his first NFL training camp ever. That's not easy, especially in Andy Reid's system. It's a fact that Andy Reid's training camps might be the hardest thing ever. So for Jalen Royals to be doing what he's doing, and for him to be looking how he's looking, and for him to be so hard to guard, and he's saying that while Rice is injured, he could easily fill in Rice's role. That might mean that we have a star here with Jalen Royals, and that's something that the Kansas City Chiefs shouldn't overlook. And it's honestly something that the NFL shouldn't overlook because Jalen Royals is going to be a beast, and there's no doubt about that. Now, we know that there's a lot of talented wideouts on the team like Worthy, Rice, Hollywood, Juju, even Tyquan Thornton's looking good. But Jalen Royals has been standing out very, very well, and he's definitely climbing his way up the depth chart. Now, Hollywood Brown is a very good wide receiver when he's healthy, or if he's healthy, right? And that's a huge if, that's a huge win. Hollywood Brown is normally never healthy, if we're being real. Hollywood Brown is rarely ever healthy, but we're going to see, man. We're definitely going to see. Um, I just can't wait to see what they do. And it's definitely gonna be a good season for these boys, man. Definitely. But like I said, Jalen Royals, he's been amazing. He's been amazing. Just everything he's doing, yard out the catch, his routes. He even had a 95-yard screen pass touchdown. So he's just been on point. So while we know that Rashee Rice is the top wide receiver, like I said, man, Jalen Royals, he's been, making his way up. Now, we know he's not going to be wide receiver one, but the dude's been unstoppable in training camp. Like, he's been making some real plays. And mind you, there's other wide receivers, right, in the whole training camp. I keep hearing about Jalen Royals the most. So that's something that shows me right there that he's obviously a above average player. He's a very good player, and that's something that a lot of people probably won't really jump to conclusion of at first because he's a rookie at the end of the day. But nowadays, man, these rookies is coming out hot and ready, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He played a good amount of games in Utah State. So Jalen Royals, not a good amount of games. He played a good amount of seasons. So Jalen Royals is a little experienced for a rookie. And he's a very good player. Like I said, man, the route running is on point, the physicality, that yard after catch ability. And it really, really just reminds me of Rashee Rice, man. I know Rice is his own person and Royals is their own person, but you could clearly see what Brad Beach was going for. I mean, we knew that Rashee Rice, Brad Beach knows that Rashee Rice could face a suspension next season. If he doesn't, it's a miracle because we do need him out there week one. I want to win that season opener. But if he doesn't get suspended, it's a miracle. But Brad Beach know that it's a big chance that Rashee Rice will get suspended, right? So with that being said, Brad Beach went out there and he gets a Rashee Rice prototype. And that's Jalen Royals, a guy who's just I'm not going to say just as good, but a guy who does everything literally Rashee Rice does. I'm not saying who does it better. Rice probably does it better at this point because Rice is elite, but Jalen Royals does all of that. And just like how Rice had to learn, Royals has to learn. And that's just how it's been. They've been both doing what it has to be done. But Royals, him being a rookie and getting this much love in training camp and hearing that all the coaches and all the teammates is impressed with him, man, it's actually very, very impressive. And it's something that I love to see out of this guy, because he's a very talented player. And this is somebody I've been following when he was in college. So to see him on the Chiefs team, see him doing what he has to do, and, see him actually going out there, making the plays in training camp, making his way up the depth chart is very amazing to see. Now, preseason is coming up. There is some preseason games coming up, so we're going to get to even see more Jalen Royals, But also, we get to see other players, and I just can't wait for the season, honestly. That's really what needs to happen. The season need to hurry up. I want to see all these guys in full effect. I want to see how good they're playing, all that type of stuff, man. I just can't wait for football, bro. Life be feeling so boring when the NFL is not on. I'm not going to lie. Life is not the same, bro. When the NFL is on and it's getting a little cold again, I don't know. It's just something about that I love. I ain't even gonna lie. Just seeing what Royals is doing out there on the field, he's been getting a lot of love from guys like Juju, Hollywood, Mahomes. Now, what Royals was saying is that he only, like, as a rookie,
Yeah, man. A
it's a
few guys
lot for him
definitely
because
stood
he's
out to
still a
me, but I
rookie.
want to
But
see
Patrick
Royals and
Mahomes wants him to be up to speed with
Bryson them just
everything.
continue to do
So he's
their
getting
thing.
challenged out there a lot. And that's
Very good
another
players,
reason
very
why
good
it's impressive
players.
with what Royals
They're
is
very,
doing
very
and all the
good.
things that's being said about him
Um,
because he's getting challenged. I mean, we
and
all
Juju
know it's not
Smith-Schuster, that's
easy
been another
playing for
wide
the
receiver
Kansas
that's been
City
standing
Chiefs.
out.
This
But
is
he's
one of the
obviously a
hardest teams
veteran.
to
Like,
play
he's not
for
really
because it's a lot of
nothing.
pressure on you,
It's not
and
really
you're
nothing
playing with the
surprising when
second
you see a
greatest
guy like
quarterback of
Juju,
all time.
doing what he got to do because he's
So
a
when you're
veteran.
playing with Patrick Mahomes, who's chasing Brady, and you're playing with Travis Kelsey, who's in his last season, and you're playing for the greatest head coach to ever do it, it's a lot of pressure on you as a rookie coming into that situation because you're going to be in the playoffs. You got to know that. You're playing for a Super Bowl team. This isn't the Chicago Bears where you could just freestyle and stat pad and just, have fun and then know you're going to lose, no pressure. You're a rookie on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a team that's locked in on a goal. This is a dynasty. So when you come into this team, you got to have that Super Bowl mindset. You got to have that Super Bowl, you know, that Super Bowl aura to you. You got to be coachable. And that's something that Rose has been. Matt Nagy and Andy Reid said he's a very coachable kid. And he's been doing a lot in training camp that shouldn't be overlooked. Like I said, man, it's just something that you have to love as a Chiefs fan that Brett Veach is starting to find these wide receivers because we used to complain about these wideouts that Brett Veach was drafting. Like Sky Moore, come on, man. We was like, what? When we see Sky Moore, we was like, what the hell? We thought he was good in college, and then we started seeing him play. We like, what the hell? Then we tried to get Kadarius Tony. That was another what the hell? After the 2023, when we beat the Eagles, he hasn't been good since. So we traded for him. It's a lot of what the hell on his team, bro. Then we got an MVS who was alright, but he was still what the hell. So it's just a lot of wide receivers that we've been through, but we still won 2 Super Bowls having the mid wide receivers. But getting Rashid Rice was a fresh breath of air. Now he definitely, I didn't like Rashid Rice in college. I'm gonna be real. I think I was just thinking about the past wide receivers, and it kind of hurt. It kind of was haunting me. I didn't like Rasheed Rice, but he ended up being great. Right? Obviously, I love him now. Come on. I didn't like Xavier Worthy either. I thought he was just gonna be John Ross, but he's actually a very good player that could route run. So I love both of them now. But Royals, I loved them since college. So I ain't love Worthy, I ain't love Rice, but they panned out. Royals, I loved him since college. Now I don't know if he gonna pan out. I love Scott Moore as well. Scott Moore didn't pan out. I don't like him no more. Worthy and Rice, those are my boys now though. I ain't like them at first, but Royals, I liked them since college. Maybe I'm cursed. Let me find out he don't pan out. Now we start. Royals gonna pan out. I love this team, man. We gonna definitely make a push to the Super Bowl. Remember, I keep telling y'all, bro. The Super Bowl is February 8th, man. That's your boy birthday. That's my birthday, man. So hopefully we make it. It's me, your boy Cheech already, and I'm out, man. Peace.